The Foreigners held the first practice in full pads on Wednesday. Hairs was set out during the Foreigners' sixth practice of training camp. Jimmy Garoppolo. Overall, it was a typical Jimmy Garoppolo type of practice. Garoppolo would complete 11 of his 18 pass attempts, featuring some really nice plays along with a few duds. Two of Garoppolo's more impressive reps came on throws to free agent wide receiver Trent Sherfield. On the first play, Garoppolo stood in strong against the rush to find Sherfield over the middle for completion. A few plays later, Garoppolo would find Sherfield on a deep out route on the right sideline to convert for a first down. On the downside, Garoppolo would throw it late a number of times, including a deep throw down the middle to George Kittle that was nearly intercepted by safety Jimmy Ward. Trey Lance. Lance demonstrated throughout team drills exactly why the Foreigners made the move to grab him third overall in the draft. Lance had finished today 14 of 15 with a touchdown throw and a number of solid runs on zone read plays. The only time the ball touched the ground was two times. First, on a botched handoff, and then later on, the last play of 49ers practice, when Lance would go deep down the left sideline to Richie James, who was well covered and unable to grab the ball. Lance finished off the first team period, though, with what may have been the best play of training camp. On the play, Lance would be forced to move to his left due to pressure and fire a strike deep into the left corner to Trent Sherfield. This was the type of play that only Lance could make, and it was definitely a wow moment of camp. Trent Sherfield said a lot about him already. The free agent acquisition from the Arizona Cardinals was fantastic throughout practice today, leading all receivers with 6 receptions, including that deep touchdown throw from Trey Lance. According to Foreigners head coach Kyle Shanahan, it was special teams coordinator Richard Hightower still on the table for San Francisco to bring Sherfield into the fold. Known primarily for his work on special teams, Hightower promised that the veteran would add value to the team as a wide receiver. That belief will be well-founded if Sherfield can continue to stack days like he did today over the rest of training camp. Elijah Mitchell. After flashing last week during the early part of training camp, the rookie was able to back those strong performances up with another strong day during the first padded practice of the season. Mitchell was repeatedly able to find space for big gains while attacking the middle of the defense, and showed off his receiving skills by hauling in a throw from Trey Lance in the right flat for another nice gain. Aaron Banks. The right guard is still working with the second team offense, but held up well during his first one-on-one pass reps of practice, winning all 3. On his first rep, Banks was matched up with veteran Eric Armstead. Banks was able to square up Armstead and stop him in his tracks. He followed that up by doing the same to Kevin Givens, and then before getting the best of Darian Daniels on the final play during the final period of practice, actually. Anthony Zettel. The free agent acquisition had a tremendous rep during one-on-one period for the offense and defensive linemen. Matched up against Trent Williams, Zettel was able to get the multi-time Pro Bowl left tackle off balance with a spin move. Williams was barely able to get a hand on Zettel. Cornerback concerns. With the cornerback position thin due to injuries, Webster was running with the first team defense and Jared Maiden was working with the second team. Maiden played cornerback early on during his time at Alabama before finishing his career at safety, which is what his focus has been since joining the 49ers last year as an undrafted free agent. San Francisco used a 3rd-round pick on Ambry Thomas and a 5th-round pick on Deommodore Lenoir, but so far neither has been able to earn additional playing time. Lastly, players returning from injury. The Foreigners got a shot in the arm on the first day of training camp when Dee Ford, Nick Bosa, and Jalen Hurd all passed their physicals. Ford and Hurd cleared another hurdle today by taking reps in team practice. This is another sign that things are progressing good for both as they work their way back. Javon Kinlaw had been held out of team drills through the first 4 practices, but he took some reps during team drills yesterday and saw a few again today. And lastly, Nick Bosa. Bosa is still returning from his knee injury that he suffered in week 2 of last season, and he's continuing to take snaps during one-on-one periods, but not during team drills. So far, he hasn't been able to be out there at all during the team, and he also did not take any snaps or reps today during the